Hey everyone, welcome into TexAgs Rewind, presented by Specs in the Rollo Insurance Studio. Got Nick with me, got McKinley with me. Final countdown day. It was a good day. McKinley, your favorite part of the show?
It was. I'd have to say Final Countdown. Honestly, it was.
When they called you Mackenzie, was that it?
Yeah, he's called me Mackenzie every time.
Has he really?
Yes.
Why don't you correct him?
Well, no, someone corrected him last week, and then he just keeps on forgetting. It's fine. But yeah, Final Countdown, and I always love the Go Hour.
You know what I do when I don't know someone's name? And I think I know it. I kind of say it fast, so you can't tell if I said McKinley or McKinsey. Or I don't say, hey, buddy. Or I say, hey, type in your number on here and put your name so I can call you so I can get it right. That's a good move.
Smart. That is a good move. Yeah.
All right, Mick. Not Nick, but Mick. Mick, what was your favorite part of the show?
Nuno, my favorite part of the show was Tony Sanchez. We've had, I think, 3 coaches on this year. All of them so likable, right?
Yeah.
They're all so gracious. They're coming to play at Kyle Field, and they understand the opportunity. So I thought he was great.
My favorite part was Billy making fun of me for asking him, how cool is it that your 2 best players left?
When I was listening to that live, I was like, I don't think I would have asked that.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I just talk sometimes. As you know, it's the TexAgs Rewind. Check it.
Who are some of those guys that the fans at Kyle Field be looking at and say, that they might be impressed by on that New Mexico State roster?
Yeah, so you got Mike Washington, who's the other back. He's a transfer from Buffalo, really good player. He's had a really good year. I think he has 6 touchdowns right now, and he just, he's a, those two are kind of the yin and yang. They run a little differently, but he's a big kid, 220 some odd pounds, and right at 6'3", catches the ball well to the backfoot, so he's good. Local Texas kid from DeSoto, TJ Pride, young freshman receiver. He's got a heck of a career ahead of him. Cordell Davis been around for a long time, another Texas kid who, has been, frustrating for a guy like that, and he's got such a good demeanor, but we have not been able to throw the ball the way we've wanted to. But he's a guy who's a good player. Shiaz Pete, our left tackle, he missed the first 6 weeks of the season. He's big kid, just right under 6'8". Just got a lot of big ceiling. Great story too. Native American kid, and so it's good to see him. Kanan Yarrow's a 3-year starter. Coming back, our center, and then defensively. Buda Palete, a really good player for us, got hurt early on after the second game of the season, so he missed a handful of games, but he's getting back to full strength. He's a really good football player. Tyler Martinez, linebacker, he's really stepped up and done a much better job, this year. So, there's a handful of guys, and then our kicker, to tell you what, he's been phenomenal this year. He's I believe he's like 13 of 15, and his 2 misses are 59 and 58. Wow. He's been a really, really good guy here, so he's definitely a weapon.
Let's close out with this. Your thoughts on what Coach Elko is doing here at Texas A&M. Obviously, they're hoping to get into the playoffs. From afar, what have you seen?
It's funny because, the older you get and the more you've been around, you kind of root for coaches, what I'm saying? You kind of follow them, kind of like we did players when we were younger. And so I watched them a lot, over at Duke and stuff like that. Newman's a DC there, and when they made the hire, I was like, wow, that's a pretty good hire, a little different. And immediately you see the culture. You see the way they run around on defense. You see the way they punch the ball out. They play a really physical brand of football. You can tell he's instilling that in them. They're really disciplined. He's a good coach. Like I said, he does a great job. And, your team kind of reflects you a little bit as far as attitude goes. And you can see that, what I'm saying? He's got a good, calm, tough demeanor, and those guys play like it.
Give me your top 3 hot seat coaches in the SEC entering 2025, I'm sorry.
I would think at the top of the list would be Hugh Freeze. Just given the way that thing has careened off the road here, all he's got to point to is recruiting. And Lane Kiffin now, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but he's targeted Auburn's quarterback as a major flip. So that would just add a little fuel to Hugh Freeze's seat there. He has got to be number 1. Billy Napier, I don't even think he should keep his job, but because of all the issues at Florida, he's going to. So you got to throw Billy Napier near the top of that list as well, probably number 2. And then number 3, probably Brent Venables. He's another one. I was scratching my head when they gave him an extension during the summer. No idea where that came from or why. No one was going to attempt to take Brent Venables away from them, but let's just give him a $44 million buyout. Without that buyout, I don't think he's the coach next year, but he will be because of it.
Mike, does that mean that Sam Pittman gets let go this offseason? I guess a lot will depend on this weekend.
Yeah. I
Mike
just
ain't
continue
getting
to
rid
hear.
of Sam Pittman. If there's one thing I know about my man Mike Bratton, he ain't getting rid of Pittman just as quick as cousin Shane's going to pick against Tennessee.
Right. I mean, you got to remember, David. I believe I could have this wrong, but I'm pretty sure the over/under win total for Arkansas is like 4.5, or maybe 5.
Yeah.
I mean, they if they close out, and that's even with losing to Texas, I think they can get to 7-5, and they are a heck of a lot better team today than they were a year ago. So, I mean, I think he's doing a decent job at Arkansas, but I continue to hear that I think he is pretty close to the end, but I don't think it's going to be a firing. I think he's going to retire. So I think Arkansas job could come open, but that's an interesting one where as long as he doesn't get destroyed by Texas, I think he's fine.
Your quarterback absolutely matters. And go back to that last question I gave SEC Mike. We looked at this season as Carson Beck being this top 2-3 guy. I don't think Quinn Ewers. I think Quinn Ewers hasn't been bad. I don't mean that at all. I don't think he's been what people said he was going to be, a Heisman contender. Connor obviously is not where we thought he'd be. You look at that list, but nobody was talking about Diego Pavia, but he was doing it at New Mexico State, and now he's freaking doing it at Vanderbilt.
So, with all that said, you're right. And you talk about the quarterbacks in this league, and Ewers is, look, part of it is staying healthy. Quinn Ewers gets hurt every year, misses 2, 3, 4 games, whatever it was last year. That's part of it. That's what people were wondering about Connor. And then he got hurt in the first game. It's part of it is to be durable, to be that stupid saying. It's not stupid, but it's overused about availability and the best of it. Being available and being able to play at that position week in and week out is obviously a very big deal. And I think Quinn's still been inconsistent. You've seen it with certain teams. It could be Georgia or it could be Arkansas this weekend. It almost doesn't matter the level of the team so much as it seems to matter the style of defense that's being thrown at him. He's still one of the better quarterbacks in this conference. Yeah. And that's a part of that is because who has lived up to the hype this year at quarterback? Probably Jackson Dart.
And Jalen Milroe at times.
Milroe has. I mean, I know he hasn't played great ever, but Milroe, I think.
Milroe's been fine.
If you look at the games he's won them in the season,
has Nico?
Tennessee was one. No, so that's what I was getting at. Before the season, I sat here and just bloviated about, hey, there's these 4 quarterbacks, and one of them is going to rise to the top and get their team to the playoffs. Now, that might be Nico, but I don't think Tennessee would get to the playoffs because of Nico. And my point was one of them was going to rise up into that
upper echelon.
Dart, Milroe, Ewers, where they're in that conversation when we talk about who's the best QB in the SEC. Oh, by the way, Brady Cook certainly has not lived up to billing. And part of that's injury, part of that's because he was overrated.
New Mexico State is traveling to number 15, Texas A&M. They are playing at 6:30 p.m. at Kyle Field. It will be on SEC Network, and Texas A&M is favored by 39.5 points.
Ugh. All right. Let's just get this out of the way. A&M is just going to roll this game, all right? But I did this last time when we played McKinney State. I was like, we're going to roll, all right? But that's just so much room for error right there.
They would have covered if that McNeese coach
okay, but what they
did,
but they did not cover.
That was funny.
Can we cut that? That was awesome. Yeah. That was really good. That and Nico, both of those were fantastic.
Look, A&M's going to kill New Mexico State, but that is a lot of room.
Well, do we not know? They may have a Diego Pavia on their roster.
I'm picking A&M to kill New Mexico State, but not beat them by 39.5 points. How about that?
I think I'm with you, Seth. I'm thinking that's a crazy high number. I don't think we'll keep our starters in long enough.
I know, man. I love. We're going to kill them.
Hey, did y'all know? A little. Did you know? Did you know? Besides the fact you know this, I guarantee you both of them don't know. I don't know if either of them know this. Did you know
they did lose 48-0 at Fresno State?
Ooh, golly.
At what?
Fresno State.
Did you know?
That's not good. Let me think about it.
Did you guys know that last year at this time of year, this exact weekend, I believe, New Mexico State went into a place where A&M is going to go next weekend with Diego Pavia, with Eli Stowers, and they beat Auburn. And they beat Auburn 31-10.
Ha! I remember that.
Now, this clearly, as Seth just pointed out, is not the same football team. They're not. It's not even the same situation. You know, they've lost not only those two guys, but a lot of guys that are succeeding. As Nuno said,
Polanski, tell the people.
Like, comment, subscribe, share it.
What do you? Okay, so I actually asked Juan this the other day. I'm gonna ask you what. Actually, I'm gonna ask you differently.
Okay.
What do you look like when you're mad?
Oh.
Because
I don't know.
have you ever been mad here at TexAgs?
No.
Okay.
No. I
When's the
don't
last
really
time you
get
were mad? Okay. Oh, you get disappointed.
Yes.
Here at TexAgs?
No.
Oh my God.
No, I don't. Never disappointed here. Always happy here. In general, like if I'm ever like upset, I'm not like mad normally. You have to like really do something to get
Who gets
mad.
the most mad at TexAgs? You can be honest. Circle of trust.
I don't know. I feel like when Cade's under pressure, he's
He gets
a little
mad, really?
scary.
I don't know.
Not
That's
mad. He's like, he gets a little scary.
Okay. What about Nick? No, he's not.
No.
I'm just always
chill.
grumpy.
I was scared of him at first, but
Yeah.
he's pretty chill.
Am I mean?
No.
Olin?
No.
Billy?
I was intimidated by him
Okay.
at first, but now he knows my name, so.
Does he?
Well, McKinney.
I corrected him. Hey, it doesn't matter.
It's close enough.
I'm Daniel. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.